Have you ever noticed how difficult it can feel to receive something good, even when your heart has been praying for it? A kind word comes, and you brush it away. A door opens, and part of you wonders when it will close. Someone offers help, and before your soul can breathe, your mouth says, "No, I'm fine." A quiet blessing appears, and instead of resting in it, you begin searching for what could go wrong. If this has been your pattern, I want you to be gentle with yourself. There is nothing wrong with you. You have not failed at trusting life. You may simply have learned somewhere along the way that it was safer to give than to receive, safer to manage than to allow, safer to expect less than to be disappointed again. But today, something soft within you is being invited to open. Not all at once, not with pressure, not because you must become someone different before good can find you. Just a little. Just enough to let one breath enter more deeply. Just enough to let your hands loosen. Just enough to whisper within yourself, maybe I am allowed to receive. There is a quiet blessing in learning how to receive without guilt. There is a sacred relief in no longer believing that every good thing must be earned through struggle. There is a deep peace that comes when the heart begins to understand that goodness does not always arrive because you chased it. Sometimes goodness arrives because you finally made space for it. You may have spent so much of your life trying to prove that you are worthy, worthy of love, worthy of kindness, worthy of rest, worthy of support, worthy of ease. You may have believed that if you worked harder, gave more, became quieter, became stronger, became more useful, then maybe life would finally reward you with peace. But peace is not a prize given only to the exhausted. Blessings are not reserved only for the ones who never make mistakes. Love, it does not wait until you become perfect. There is a gentler truth waiting underneath all that striving. You are allowed to receive because you exist. You are allowed to be supported while you are still learning. You are allowed to be blessed in small ways, ordinary ways, quiet ways, even before everything in your life feels complete. So take a slow breath wherever you are. Let the air enter your body without forcing it. Let your shoulders soften, even just a little. Notice if your chest feels guarded. Notice if your hands are tense. Notice if your mind is still trying to solve something. You do not have to solve your whole life in this moment. You do not have to know where every blessing will come from. You do not have to understand the timing of every answered prayer. For now, your only practice is openness. Softly, inside your heart, say, I am willing to receive good in peaceful and loving ways. Do not worry if the words feel too big. Do not worry if some part of you does not believe them yet. Willingness is enough. A small opening is enough. A window does not need to become a door for light to enter. Even the thinnest space between the curtains can let morning touch the room. Let that be you today. You do not need to burst open. You do not need to force faith. You do not need to pretend that you have no fear. You only need to allow one small ray of trust. Receiving may feel unfamiliar if you have been carrying life alone for too long. It may feel strange to imagine that good can come without you wrestling it into place. It may feel uncomfortable to let someone care for you, to let help arrive, to let love be spoken, to let rest be taken, to let beauty be enjoyed without apologizing for it. But unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. Sometimes the soul trembles, not because something is wrong, but because something new is beginning. Perhaps you are used to being the strong one, the dependable one, the one who holds everything together, the one who knows how to keep going even when the heart is tired. And because you have been strong for so long, receiving may feel like losing control. But receiving is not weakness. Receiving is balance. The flower does not apologize for accepting sunlight. The shore does not feel guilty when the tide returns. The earth does not reject the rain because it did not earn every drop. Nature receives because receiving is part of life's rhythm. And you are part of life too. You are not separate from that rhythm. You are not outside the circle of support. You are not here only to give until nothing is left of you. There is a season for pouring out, and there is a season for being filled. Maybe this moment is asking you to be filled, not with noise, not with pressure, not with promises that everything will become perfect by morning, but with a softer belief, a belief that you can receive peace before every problem is solved, a belief that you can receive kindness without explaining why you need it, a belief that you can receive blessings without shrinking from them, a belief that life can still surprise you gently. You may have known disappointment, Tad. You may have opened your heart before and felt unseen. You may have hoped for something and watched it unfold differently than you wanted. Those moments matter. They are not small. They may have taught your heart to become careful. So today, we will not force the heart open. We will sit beside it. We will speak to it with patience. We will say, I understand why you closed. I understand why you became guarded. I understand why receiving feels tender. And still, little by little, we can open again. There is no shame in needing time. There is no shame in learning trust slowly. There is no shame in receiving one small blessing today instead of trying to welcome everything at once. Begin where you are. If all you can receive right now is this breath, receive this breath. If all you can receive is a moment of quiet, receive the quiet. If all you can receive is the idea that maybe you are not as alone as you feel, receive that idea. Let it be enough. The mind often looks for blessings in dramatic forms. It wants the big answer, the sudden shift, the unmistakable sign. And sometimes life does bring beautiful surprises, but often blessings begin more quietly. They arrive as a little more patience, a softer thought, a kind message, a moment of rest, a new idea, a tiny feeling of courage, a peaceful pause where fear used to be. Do not overlook the small blessings while waiting for the large ones. A small blessing can be a doorway. A small blessing can be a seed of trust. A small blessing can be life whispering, I am still here with you. Today you are invited to become someone who notices the support already present, notices the ways your body has carried you, notices the people who have been kind, notices the moments when your heart did not give up, notices the quiet strength that has brought you this far. You have survived days that once felt impossible. You have walked through seasons when you did not know how you would keep going, and yet here you are, breathing, listening, opening, willing to believe that more good is possible. That willingness is sacred. Do not underestimate it. The part of you that still hopes is not foolish. The part of you that still wants to trust is not weak. The part of you that still believes blessings can come is not naive. It is alive. It is wise. It remembers something your fear has forgotten. It remembers that your heart was not made only to defend itself. It was made to receive love. It was made to recognize beauty. It was made to rest in moments of grace. It was made to open, close, heal, and open again. So if receiving has felt difficult, let this be the beginning of a new relationship with goodness. Not a forced one, not a loud one, a gentle one. You might begin by receiving a compliment without arguing with it. You might begin by letting someone help you in a small way. You might begin by resting for 10 minutes without guilt. You might begin by saying thank you when something kind happens, instead of explaining why you do not deserve it. You might begin by placing your hand on your heart and saying, I allow good to meet me gently. That is enough for today. There is something powerful about allowing blessings to come gently. It removes the pressure. It tells the nervous system that receiving does not have to feel overwhelming. It reminds the heart that good can arrive softly in ways that do not frighten it. You do not have to be flooded by life. You can be nourished drop by drop. Like dry soil after a long summer, your spirit may need slow rain. Not a storm, not a rushing river, just steady kindness, gentle hope. A little trust falling again and again until the hardened places begin to soften. Let the rain come slowly. Let your heart receive at the pace it can. There is no race here. No one is measuring your openness. No one is asking you to be fearless. Fear may come with you. Let it come. Sit it down beside you. Let it listen too. Fear does not need to lead, but it does not have to be hated. Sometimes fear is only the old part of you trying to keep you safe in the only way it knows. You can thank it for trying. Then you can choose again. You can say, I know you are afraid, but we are learning to receive differently now. And perhaps with time, even fear will soften. Perhaps it will stop standing in the doorway. Perhaps it will learn that not every blessing is a threat. Perhaps it will see that peace does not need to be pushed away. This is how receiving begins. Not as a grand performance, not as a perfect spiritual state. It begins in ordinary moments when you stop rejecting the good that is already trying to reach you. A breath, a kind thought, a moment of beauty, a chance to rest, a gentle yes. Let yourself practice with small things, because small things teach the heart. If you cannot yet believe in large miracles, believe in a peaceful minute. If you cannot yet trust a whole new chapter, trust this breath. If you cannot yet open your whole heart, open one small corner. Life can enter through the smallest opening. And sometimes the blessing is not that everything changes at once. Sometimes the blessing is that you stop fighting yourself. Sometimes the miracle is not a sudden event, but a softening inside you, a quiet release, a moment when your heart says, I do not want to live closed anymore. That moment matters. That moment is holy in its own way. Because when you begin to open, you begin to relate to life differently. You stop looking only for proof that things will go wrong. You begin to notice the ways support is already moving around you. You begin to feel that receiving is not taking too much. It is participating in the natural exchange of life. You give, you receive, you breathe out, you breathe in, you bless. You are blessed. This rhythm was never meant to be one-sided. If you only exhaled and never inhaled, your body could not live. In the same way, if you only give and never receive, your spirit becomes weary. You were not designed to live as an empty vessel pretending to be full. Let yourself inhale. Let yourself be filled. Let yourself receive without apologizing. Say quietly, I am open to receiving blessings in ways that support my peace. Let those words move slowly through you, not as a demand to the universe, not as a bargain, not as a way to control what happens next, but as a loving agreement with your own heart. You are agreeing to stop pushing away every good thing because it feels unfamiliar. You are agreeing to stop measuring your worth by how much you can endure. You are agreeing to stop calling struggle the only proof that you deserve happiness. You are allowed to receive without suffering first. You are allowed to feel peace without earning it through pain. You are allowed to welcome a better feeling before the whole path is clear. This may be a new thought for you. Let it be new. Let it feel strange. New truths often feel uncomfortable before they feel natural. The first time you wear a softer belief, it may not fit easily, but with patience, it begins to shape itself around your heart. One day, receiving kindness may feel normal. One day, rest may no longer feel like guilt. One day, you may hear a compliment and let it land. One day, you may allow a blessing to enter without searching for the cost. That day begins with small choices made now. It begins when you notice resistance and do not shame yourself for it. It begins when you pause before saying no to support. It begins when you allow yourself to want good things without calling yourself selfish. It begins when you remember that openness is not greed, it is trust. And trust can be very quiet. Trust can be a hand unclenching. Trust can be a breath deepening. Trust can be the decision to stop rehearsing disappointment for 1 minute. Trust can be saying, I do not know how everything will unfold, but I am willing to let good reach me. You do not have to know how blessings will arrive. You do not have to design the path. You do not have to control every person, every opportunity, every timing, every outcome. There is freedom in admitting that your mind does not need to manage the whole mystery. You can take your next step. You can speak kindly to yourself. You can stay open. You can receive what comes in peace. And when something does not come the way you hoped, you can still hold yourself with love. This is important. Being open to receiving blessings does not mean you will never feel disappointment. It does not mean every wish will unfold exactly as imagined. It does not mean life will become painless. A mature spiritual heart does not need false promises. A mature spiritual heart says, even when I do not understand, I can remain kind to myself. Even when I am waiting, I can remain open to peace. Even when one door is quiet, I can allow life to guide me toward what is supportive and true. This kind of openness is steady. It is not desperate. It does not chase signs all day. It does not collapse when life takes time. It simply keeps the heart available to good. Perhaps this is the blessing you need most today, not a sudden answer, but the ability to stop closing yourself before life has finished speaking. Let yourself be available to peace, available to kindness, available to guidance, available to support, available to a better thought, available to a softer way. There may be old beliefs within you that say, good things happen to other people, not to me. If that thought appears, do not fight it, just notice it. See it as an old recording, not a final truth. Then offer your heart a new sentence. Good can come to me too. Simple, gentle, believable. Good can come to me too. Let that be enough. You do not need to jump from fear to perfect faith. You can move one step at a time. The soul often heals through small, repeated kindness. A phrase spoken with tenderness, a breath taken with awareness, a choice to receive one moment without pushing it away. So much of healing is learning to stop abandoning yourself when you feel uncertain. Stay with yourself here. If you feel resistant, stay. If you feel emotional, stay. If part of you wants to dismiss these words, stay. Not with force, but with compassion. Something in you is listening beneath the surface. Something in you already knows that a life of constant guarding is too heavy. Something in you is ready to place down the invisible shield and discover that maybe, just maybe, not everything coming toward you is here to hurt you. Some things are here to bless you. Some things are here to comfort you. Some things are here to teach you that receiving can be safe. Imagine, for a moment, a table set in a quiet room. There is no noise there, no pressure, no demand. Just a place prepared with care, a chair waiting, a candle glowing softly, a cup of warm tea resting near your hands. You do not have to perform to sit there. You do not have to prove that you deserve the chair, the warmth, the quiet, the nourishment. You are invited because you are you. Receiving can feel like that, not dramatic, not loud. A quiet place within where you finally stop standing at the doorway and allow yourself to sit down. Let your heart sit down. Let your body know it does not have to keep bracing. Let your mind know it can stop scanning for what might go wrong. For this moment, nothing is required from you except willingness. You may softly say, I am willing to sit at the table of life and receive what is offered with gratitude. Feel the tenderness of that. The table of life may not always hold what you expected. Sometimes it offers patience when you asked for speed. Sometimes it offers clarity when you wanted certainty. Sometimes it offers rest when you wanted a solution. Sometimes it offers a small kindness to keep you going until a larger answer is ready. Can you receive what is here without rejecting it because it is not everything yet? This is a deep practice. Many people miss blessings because they arrive in humble clothing, a helpful conversation, a sudden calm, a quiet no, a small yes, a moment of courage, a chance to begin again, a pause that prevents a mistake, a delay that gives the heart time to grow steadier. Not every blessing announces itself. Some blessings enter softly and wait to be noticed. So today, let your awareness become gentle. Look for the quiet good, not with pressure, not with fear that you might miss something, just with curiosity. What has supported you today? What has helped you breathe? What has reminded you that you are still here? What small kindness can you let in? Maybe the blessing is this moment itself. A few minutes where you are not being asked to become more, do more, fix more, or carry more. A few minutes where your soul is being told you may receive. Receive the permission. Receive the softness. Receive the possibility that you are not excluded from good. You may have excluded yourself without realizing it, not because you wanted to suffer, but because old pain taught you to expect less. Pain can make the heart lower its eyes. It can make the soul stand outside its own life, watching blessings pass by, thinking, not for me. But today, with kindness, lift your eyes. Not everything is meant to pass you by. Some goodness is meant to stop at your door. Some support is meant to reach your hands. Some peace is meant to live in your body. Some joy is meant to find your face again. Let the thought enter gently. Good is allowed to come close. Do not chase it. Do not grab it. Do not demand that it look a certain way. Just allow it to come close. And if it feels too much, breathe. Your body may need time to learn that good is not dangerous. Your heart may need time to believe that receiving does not mean something will be taken from you later. Your mind may need time to stop turning blessings into worries. That is all right. You can learn. You are learning already. Each time you let in one loving thought, you are learning. Each time you receive one breath without rushing, you are learning. Each time you say thank you without pushing the gift away, you are learning. Each time you pause before rejecting support, you are learning. This is not a test. It is a practice. And you can practice gently. There may be a part of you that believes struggle makes you worthy. Maybe you learned that love must be earned by being useful. Maybe you learned that rest is laziness. Maybe you learned that asking for help is weakness. Maybe you learned that wanting more makes you ungrateful. Let us bring those beliefs into the light without judgment. They may have been handed to you by tired people who were also taught to survive instead of receive. They may have been shaped by seasons when life felt uncertain. They may have helped you keep going at one time. But not every belief that helped you survive is meant to guide your whole life. You can thank the old belief and choose a softer one. You can say, I no longer need to struggle to prove my worth. Let that land slowly. You do not need to struggle to prove your worth. You can work with love. You can grow with patience. You can serve with joy. You can care for others from a full heart. But you do not need to suffer in order to deserve blessings. There is a difference between sincere effort and endless striving. There is a difference between responsibility and self-punishment. There is a difference between showing up for life and forcing yourself to carry what was never yours to hold alone. Receiving helps restore the at balance. It allows your spirit to remember that you are not only a worker, a helper, a fixer, a giver, a protector, a planner. You are also a living soul with needs, desires, tenderness, and a deep longing to be held by something greater than your own effort. You are allowed to be cared for. You are allowed to be surprised by grace. You are allowed to receive beauty simply because beauty is here. Look at the sky. It does not ask whether you have earned its color. Listen to rain. It does not fall only on those who have perfected themselves. Feel the warmth of sunlight when it touches your skin. It does not pause to ask for your achievements. Life offers itself in countless ways, and you too may learn to receive. When a blessing comes, practice not shrinking. When support appears, practice not explaining it away. When peace visits, practice not rushing past it. When joy rises, even briefly, practice letting it be there. You do not have to hold joy tightly. Just let it sit beside you. Let it breathe. Let it stay as long as it stays. This is receiving too. Sometimes receiving is allowing a good moment to be good, not perfect, not permanent, just good. A quiet cup of tea, a soft blanket, a message from someone who cares. The relief of finishing something difficult. The first deep breath after crying. A moment when your own inner voice becomes kinder. These are not small things to the soul. These are signs that softness is returning. The more you notice them, the more your heart becomes familiar with receiving. Not because you are forcing life, but because you are no longer blind to what is already being offered. Let today be a day of noticing, a day of opening, a day of no longer arguing with every blessing. If someone says something kind, let it touch you. If your body asks for rest, listen. If your heart asks for gentleness, answer. If a peaceful thought comes, do not push it away because worry feels more familiar. Say, I receive this moment of peace. That is a miracle in its own quiet form, not a guarantee, not a spectacle, not a promise that everything outside you will change instantly, but a real shift, a human shift, a sacred shift, the kind that begins inside and slowly changes the way you meet the world. When you are closed, even gifts feel suspicious. When you are open, even ordinary moments can carry grace. And openness begins with safety. So before you ask yourself to receive more, ask yourself what would help you feel safe enough to receive. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need to breathe. Maybe you need to stop speaking harshly to yourself. Maybe you need to let receiving be gradual. Maybe you need to remind yourself that you do not have to accept everything from everyone. True receiving includes wisdom. You can receive what is loving and decline what is not. You can be open-hearted without being unprotected. You can be generous without being empty. You can trust life while still honoring your boundaries. This is important. Being open to blessings does not mean saying yes to everything. It means becoming available to what is good, true, kind, peaceful, and aligned with your well-being. It means no longer closing the door out of habit when something supportive appears. It means letting your inner wisdom help you recognize what nourishes you. So say gently, I receive what is loving. I release what is not for me. There is peace in that. You do not need to grab every opportunity. You do not need to call every surprise a sign. You do not need to force meaning into everything. You can remain calm. You can listen inwardly. You can let blessings come with peace, not confusion. Real receiving feels steady. It may feel tender, but it does not require you to betray yourself. The blessings that are right for your spirit will not ask you to abandon your inner knowing. They will help you return to it. And as you return to yourself, you may begin to see that the greatest opening is not outside you, it is within. The door you are learning to open is the door of the heart. For a long time, that door may have been locked by old disappointment, guarded by fear, covered by beliefs you did not choose. But no door within you is beyond tenderness. No part of you is too closed for love to approach gently. Imagine standing before that inner door now. Do not force it. Do not knock loudly. Simply place your hand upon it. Let the warmth of your own presence be enough. Say to the closed places within you, I will not rush you. I will not shame you. I am here. When you are ready, we can open together. Feel how different that is from pressure. Pressure says, open now. Love says, I will stay. This is how trust is rebuilt. You stay with yourself. You stop abandoning the frightened parts. You stop demanding instant transformation. You become patient enough for the heart to believe you. And when the heart begins to believe you, it opens naturally, not because it was forced, because it finally feels safe. This is the hidden foundation of receiving blessings, inner safety. A heart that feels unsafe may reject even the good it longs for. A heart that feels safe can begin to receive slowly, wisely, gratefully. So today, do not ask, why am I not more open? Ask, how can I become safer within myself? Speak more kindly. Move more slowly. Let rest be allowed. Let boundaries be honored. Let your needs matter. Let your feelings be heard. Let your worth be remembered. When you become a safe place for yourself, blessings have somewhere gentle to land. And you do not need to become perfectly safe, perfectly healed, perfectly peaceful before receiving. That would only create another impossible rule. You can receive while you are still learning. You can receive while your heart is still tender. You can receive while part of you still doubts. Blessings do not require perfect faith. They often meet us in the middle of our becoming. So if all you have today is a little willingness, offer that. If all you have is a tired prayer, offer that. If all you have is one open breath, offer that. Life can work with small openings. The dawn begins with a thin line of light. A song begins with one note. A new path begins with one step. And your new relationship with receiving can begin with one gentle yes. Not yes to everything, not yes to pressure, not yes to pretending. A yes to good, a yes to peace, a yes to support, a yes to being loved in ways you are still learning to accept, a yes to the possibility that your life can hold more softness than it has held before. Say inside yourself, yes, I am willing. Let it be simple. Yes, I am willing to receive. Yes, I am willing to stop pushing away kindness. Yes, I am willing to notice blessings. Yes, I am willing to let life support me in peaceful ways. Yes, I am willing to believe that good can come to me too. Notice how your body responds. Maybe there is ease. Maybe there is resistance. Maybe there is emotion. Whatever comes, let it be welcome. You do not have to manage your response. Just witness it with compassion. This is not about forcing positivity. This is about creating room for truth. And the truth is, you have carried enough. You have done enough proving for one lifetime. You have spent enough nights wondering whether you are worthy. Let this be a different kind of moment. A moment where you do not have to earn the breath entering your lungs. A moment where you do not have to explain your desire for peace. A moment where you allow yourself to be human, tender, unfinished, and still deserving of goodness. There is a blessing in that alone. The blessing of no longer being at war with your own heart. The blessing of putting down the argument. The blessing of saying, maybe I do not need to become more acceptable before I can receive love. Maybe I can begin here. Begin here, in this breath, in this body, in this imperfect day, in this quiet willingness. You are not late to receive. You are not too damaged to open. You are not excluded from the gentle abundance of life because of your past, your mistakes, your fears, or your uncertainty. You are here, and here is enough place to begin. Let your hands soften now. Even if only in imagination, see them opening, not reaching, not grabbing, just opening. Palms relaxed, fingers loose, empty enough to receive. For so long, those hands may have held worry, plans, responsibilities, memories, old stories, other people's needs, the weight of being strong. But in this moment, let them hold space. Space for peace, space for guidance, space for unexpected kindness, space for blessings that do not need to be forced. There is power in an open hand. There is wisdom in a softened grip. There is trust in saying, I do not have to hold everything together for good to come. Let that sentence move through your heart. You do not have to hold everything together for good to come. Sometimes good comes when you finally stop clutching the broken pieces and allow your hands to be free. Sometimes peace comes when you stop trying to control the shape of every answer. Sometimes a blessing begins when you admit, I am tired of gripping life so tightly. That honesty is beautiful. That honesty is not weakness. It is the soul asking for a gentler way. And there is a gentler way. It begins by softening the grip on how everything must happen. Maybe the blessing will not come through the door you have been staring at. Maybe support will not arrive in the form your mind has designed. Maybe the answer will be quieter than expected, but deeper than you imagined. Maybe today's miracle is not that everything changes, but that your heart stops closing to the possibility of change. Stay open to peaceful forms of good. Stay open to kindness that looks ordinary. Stay open to timing that feels slower than your fear would like. Stay open to your own growth. Stay open to the idea that life may be arranging support in ways you cannot yet see. Again, not as a guarantee, not as pressure to believe perfectly, simply as a softer way to stand in the unknown. The unknown does not have to be filled only with fear. It can also hold possibility. It can hold grace. It can hold the next right step. It can hold a blessing you do not yet have words for. When you do not know what comes next, you can still choose the posture of openness. Not because you are certain of every outcome, but because you are tired of living closed. A closed heart may feel protected, but it also feels lonely. An open heart may feel tender, but it can breathe. Let your heart breathe. Let it have room. Let it stop standing guard over every doorway. There is no need to throw the doors wide open all at once. Just unlock one small place. Let a little air in. Let a little light touch the floor. Let your spirit remember what it feels like to not be trapped inside old fear. You may say softly, I release the need to grip life with fear. I allow my heart to open with wisdom. With wisdom, that matters. Openness with wisdom is not reckless. It is not blind. It is not pretending everything is perfect. It is the gentle willingness to remain connected to good while honoring what you know. You can be open and discerning. You can be hopeful and grounded. You can trust and still take practical steps. You can receive blessings and still live with common sense. Spiritual openness does not ask you to abandon your life. It asks you to meet your life with a softer heart, and a softer heart can see more clearly. Fear narrows the world. It tells you there is only one way, one answer, one chance, one path, one person, one outcome. But openness widens the room. It allows you to see possibilities you could not see while gripping tightly. Perhaps there are blessings that cannot reach you through the old shape of your control. Perhaps there are forms of support that need space to enter. Perhaps your next good thing requires not more pushing, but more allowing. Think of a bird resting on an open palm. If the hand clenches, the bird cannot stay. If the hand shakes and grabs, the bird flies away. But when the palm is steady, open, and gentle, the bird may rest there for a moment. Blessings are often like that. They are easier to recognize when the heart is not grabbing. They are easier to receive when the spirit is not desperate. They are easier to enjoy when you are not already planning their loss. So, practice the open palm. Not only with your hands, but with your thoughts. An open thought says, maybe good is possible. An open thought says, maybe I do not need to know yet. An open thought says, maybe I can receive this moment as it comes. An open thought says, maybe I am more supported than I can see right now. These thoughts are gentle. They do not bully the mind. They do not deny pain. They simply make room for something besides fear. And sometimes that is all you need to begin. A little room, a little breath, a little opening. Let yourself become less crowded inside. If your mind is full of worry, you do not have to empty it completely. Just create one quiet corner, one place where a blessing can sit, one place where gratitude can rest, one place where hope can breathe. That quiet corner may grow. With every kind word you speak to yourself, it grows. With every moment of receiving, it grows. With every time you stop pushing away support, it grows. One day you may discover that the room inside you feels larger. Not because life became perfect, but because fear no longer occupies every chair. There is space for trust now, space for peace, space for blessings, space for the unknown to be something other than threatening. This is the inner work of receiving. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is patient and tender. It happens in the moment before you deflect a compliment. It happens in the breath before you say, I can do it all myself. It happens when you notice guilt rising as you rest, and instead of obeying it, you whisper, rest is allowed. Receiving is practiced in these small, hidden moments. No one may see them, but your soul feels them. Your body feels the difference when you stop treating tenderness as danger. Your heart feels the difference when you let kindness land. Your spirit feels the difference when you choose not to live as if every blessing must be chased, controlled, and defended. Let life surprise you gently. Let support come from places you did not expect. Let good arrive in forms your mind did not design. Let yourself say thank you before asking what the catch is. There does not have to be a catch. Sometimes good is simply good. Sometimes kindness is simply kindness. Sometimes a peaceful moment is not a trick. It is a gift. Can you let a gift be a gift? Can you let a soft moment be soft? Can you receive without immediately preparing for loss? If that feels difficult, do not judge yourself. Just place a hand over your heart and breathe. Let the warmth of your hand remind you that you are not here to force yourself. You are here to become a safe place for your own unfolding. Say gently, I can receive slowly. I can open gently. I can trust one breath at a time. One breath at a time is enough. The mind may want a large transformation. The soul often prefers a steady one. The mind wants certainty. The soul learns through trust. The mind asks, when will everything arrive? The soul asks, can I receive what is here? And what is here right now? A breath, a body, a listening heart, a chance to begin again. A quiet invitation to stop pushing away the very peace you have been asking for. Receive this. Receive this small beginning. Receive the idea that you do not have to become someone else before blessings can meet you. There is no need to perform spirituality, no need to sound perfect, no need to repeat words you do not feel. Let your practice be honest. If you feel closed, say, I feel closed and I am willing to soften. If you feel afraid, say, I feel afraid and I am willing to be kind to myself. If you feel unworthy, say, I feel unworthy and I am willing to remember the truth. The truth is deeper than a feeling. Feelings move like weather. Worth remains. Fear may pass through. Worth remains. Doubt may speak loudly. Worth remains. Old memories may rise. Worth remains. Your worth is not fragile. It does not disappear when you struggle to believe in it. It does not shrink when you make a mistake. It does not depend on whether someone else recognized it. It does not wait for you to become perfectly healed. Your worth is the ground beneath the receiving. Without remembering worth, blessings can feel uncomfortable. With worth, even a small blessing can be welcomed with a steady heart. So let us begin to loosen the old condition, the one that says, when I am better, then I can receive. The one that says, when I am more successful, then I can rest. The one that says, when I have fixed every flaw, then I can be loved. The one that says, when I have suffered enough, then maybe I deserve peace. These conditions are heavy. They keep the heart waiting outside its own life. Let them soften. You do not have to meet every condition before you receive a blessing. You can receive encouragement while still growing. You can receive love while still healing. You can receive rest while still unfinished. You can receive guidance while still uncertain. You can receive peace while still having questions. You can receive support while still learning how to trust it. There is no rule that says you must be complete before life can be kind to you. You are becoming, and you are worthy in the becoming. Say softly, I am worthy of good as I grow. Let it be simple. I am worthy of good as I grow. Not when I become perfect. Not when I finally understand everything. Not when everyone approves. Now, as I grow. This is the doorway to receiving. When you believe you must earn every blessing through perfection, you become tense. You monitor yourself. You judge every feeling. You fear every mistake. You turn life into a test you can never pass. But when you understand that worth is already present, something relaxes. You can still grow, but growth becomes kinder. You can still work, but work becomes less desperate. You can still dream, but dreams become less heavy. You can still pray, but prayer becomes less like begging and more like opening. You can still desire abundance, peace, love, and support, but you no longer desire them from emptiness alone. You desire them from the quiet knowing that you are allowed to live a fuller life. Wanting good does not make you selfish. Receiving good does not make you ungrateful. Letting yourself be supported does not make you weak. There is a tender balance here. You can be grateful for what you have and still welcome more peace. You can appreciate your life and still desire growth. You can give to others and still allow yourself to receive. You can be spiritual and still have human needs. You can be strong and still long to be held. Let this be allowed. For many people, the hardest blessing to receive is not money, love, opportunity, or praise. It is the blessing of permission. Permission to rest, permission to need, permission to want, permission to be cared for, permission to stop proving, permission to feel worthy before the outer world confirms it. So receive permission now. You are allowed to want a softer life. You are allowed to want relationships that feel kind. You are allowed to want peace in your mind. You are allowed to want enough support to breathe. You are allowed to want beauty, joy, comfort, clarity, and hope. You are allowed to receive the good that helps you become more loving, more grounded, more whole within yourself. And you are allowed to receive without turning it into another task. Sometimes even spiritual growth becomes another way to criticize ourselves. We say, I should be more open. I should trust more. I should be better at affirmations. I should not feel afraid. But this is not the way of love. Love does not shame the flower for opening slowly. Let yourself open slowly. Let worthiness be practiced like a song you are learning. At first you may forget the words. You may sing softly. You may hesitate. But with time, the melody becomes familiar. It begins to live in you. The melody of worth might sound like this. I do not have to earn every breath. I do not have to apologize for needing kindness. I do not have to reject blessings to prove humility. I can receive with gratitude. I can receive with grace. I can receive and still remain kind, grounded, and true. Let these thoughts become music beneath your day. Not loud, not forced, just present. And when guilt rises, because it may, speak to it gently. Guilt may say, who are you to receive this? Answer, I am a human being, learning to live with an open heart. Guilt may say, you should give this away. Answer, I can receive and still be generous. Guilt may say, "You have not done enough." Answer, "My worth is not measured only by what I do." Guilt may say, "This is too good for you." Answer, "I am learning to let good feel safe." Do not fight guilt with anger. Teach it a new language. Guilt often comes from old rules, rules that were never written by your soul. Rules that said, love must be earned, rest must be justified, receiving must be suspicious, and self-kindness must wait until everyone else is satisfied. But the soul knows a different rule, a simpler one. Love expands when it is allowed to flow both ways. If you only give and never receive, the flow becomes blocked. If you only pour out and never allow yourself to be filled, resentment may grow where love once lived. Receiving keeps the heart tender. Receiving allows giving to become joyful again. Receiving reminds you that you are part of the circle, not outside it. You deserve a place in the circle of care. Let that sentence stay near you. You deserve a place in the circle of care. Not above others, not below others, with others, giving and receiving, holding and being held, blessing and being blessed. This is harmony. This is a more peaceful way to live, and it begins inside, where you stop treating your needs like interruptions. Your needs are not interruptions to your spiritual life. They are part of your human life. They ask you to listen. They ask you to become honest. They ask you to receive the support that helps you stay connected to love. When you are tired, rest is a blessing. When you are confused, clarity is a blessing. When you are lonely, connection is a blessing. When you are afraid, reassurance is a blessing. When you are harsh with yourself, gentleness is a blessing. When you feel closed, willingness is a blessing. Not every blessing looks like an answered dream. Some blessings look like the next right feeling, the next right breath, the next right support. Receive what is next. Not everything, just what is next. This keeps the heart from becoming overwhelmed. You do not need to receive a whole new life in one day. You can receive one loving thought, one moment of help, one sign of care, one chance to choose differently, and each small receiving teaches the deeper self. It is safe to let good in. The deeper self learns through repetition, but not robotic repetition. Loving repetition, natural repetition, the way morning returns, the way waves come and go, the way the heart beats without asking for applause. So return gently to the affirmation that feels true enough for today. I am open to receiving blessings. If that feels too large, soften it. I am willing to be open. If that still feels large, soften it more. I am willing. Even that is enough. A willing heart is already beginning to turn. A willing heart is already less closed than before. A willing heart is a quiet miracle. There may be a younger part of you that still believes receiving leads to disappointment. Maybe once you hoped and were let down. Maybe once you trusted and felt hurt. Maybe once you asked and no one came. That younger part may still be waiting for proof that it is safe. Do not dismiss it. Do not drag it forward. Sit with it. In your imagination, let that younger self know. We will go slowly. We will not ignore our wisdom. We will not force ourselves to trust what feels wrong. But we will also not close ourselves forever to what is kind. This is healing, not denying the past, not living inside it either. You are allowed to carry wisdom without carrying the wound as your identity. You are allowed to remember what happened without letting it decide that no blessing can ever be trusted. The past may explain why receiving feels hard, but it does not have to forbid your future from becoming softer. Something new can be learned, a new response, a new openness, a new ability to pause and say, "This is good, and I am allowed to receive it." Start there. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. Use it for small things. A peaceful morning. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. A kind message. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. A moment of laughter. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. A chance to rest. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. A feeling of hope. This is good. I am allowed to receive it. Let the words become a soft bridge between fear and trust. You do not have to leap, just cross one plank at a time. The bridge of receiving is built slowly. It is built each time you let yourself be supported, each time you allow kindness, each time you stop apologizing for having needs, each time you bless the good instead of questioning whether you deserve it. And as that bridge grows stronger, you may begin to notice something beautiful. Receiving does not make you smaller. It makes you more whole. It does not take away your strength. It gives your strength a place to rest. It does not make you selfish. It teaches you the humility of being human, because every human being must receive. We receive breath. We receive food. We receive shelter. We receive touch. We receive words. We receive lessons. We receive forgiveness. We receive time. We receive chances to begin again. No one lives only by giving. Even the strongest tree receives from the soil. Even the brightest flame receives from the air. Even the ocean receives the rivers. Why would you be the one exception? You are allowed to receive because receiving is part of being alive. Let this truth loosen something in you. You do not need to be the exception to gentleness. You do not need to stand outside the flow of care. You do not need to prove your value by refusing support. Let support come. Let blessings come gently. Let peace come in small ways. Let yourself be included in the goodness you wish for others. That is often the missing piece. You may bless others easily. You may pray for their peace, celebrate their joy, encourage their dreams, and remind them of their worth. But when it is your turn, you hesitate. Let the love you offer others turn toward you. Not all of it, not in a way that takes away from anyone else. Love is not a limited bowl that empties when you receive. Love is more like a flame. When one candle lights another, the first is not diminished. The room simply becomes brighter. When you receive love, you do not steal it, you help it continue. When you receive kindness, you do not reduce kindness in the world. You become one more place where kindness is alive. When you receive blessings with gratitude, you become more able to bless others without bitterness. So let receiving be an act of harmony. Let it be your way of saying yes to the full rhythm of life. Not just effort, not just endurance, not just responsibility, but also beauty, also rest, also help, also delight, also grace. You are allowed to have moments where nothing is required of you. You are allowed to sit in the sunlight without turning it into a lesson. You are allowed to enjoy the taste of water, the softness of a pillow, the quiet of a room, the relief of being done for the day. These are blessings too. Do not let the mind call them too small. The soul knows better. The soul knows that small blessings are often how trust returns, drop by drop, breath by breath, moment by moment. And as trust returns, the heart becomes less afraid of larger blessings. It learns that good can come and the world does not collapse. It learns that receiving does not have to create debt. It learns that gratitude is enough. Sometimes all you need to say is thank you. No apology, no explanation, no deflection. Just thank you. Practice it now in your heart. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the good I can see. Thank you for the good I cannot yet see. Thank you for the strength that carried me here. Thank you for the softness that is beginning to return. Feel how gratitude opens without forcing. It does not demand a miracle. It simply recognizes that something is already here. And recognition is powerful. What you recognize, you can receive more fully. A blessing unnoticed may pass through your life like a breeze. A blessing noticed can become nourishment. So notice, receive, give thanks, and stay open. The next part of this journey is to look even more deeply at the quiet beliefs that tell you receiving is not safe, not deserved, or not meant for you. Because once those beliefs are seen with compassion, they begin to lose their power, and the heart can open a little wider to the blessings that have been waiting for room to enter. And as these old beliefs begin to soften, something very gentle happens. You stop waiting for blessings to arrive only in the form your mind has chosen. You stop looking only for the grand, unmistakable sign. you begin to sense that life has always had many ways of reaching you. Sometimes a blessing is not loud enough for the worried mind to notice. Sometimes it does not arrive with drama or sudden change, or a shining answer placed clearly in your hands. Sometimes it comes as a pause, a quiet thought, a moment when you do not react the way you used to, a breath that feels a little easier than the one before, a person who listens without trying to fix you, a delay that gives you time to hear your own truth, a small moment of beauty that asks for nothing from you except your attention. So many blessings are missed because the heart has been trained to wait for something enormous. We think good must be big to be real. We think a miracle must interrupt the whole room, change every circumstance, and make all doubt disappear. But the soul knows a deeper wisdom. The soul knows that some of the most sacred shifts begin almost silently. A little more patience is a blessing. A softer inner voice is a blessing. The courage to try again is a blessing. A peaceful no can be a blessing. A new understanding can be a blessing. A restful night, a kind word, a moment of laughter, a feeling that you do not have to punish yourself anymore. These are blessings too. Do not make the mistake of dismissing them because they do not look impressive. Life often begins with quiet things. Morning begins with a thin change in the sky before the sun is fully seen. A flower begins beneath the soil before the color appears. A new chapter may begin first as a small change in how you speak to yourself. If you are only waiting for the large answer, you may overlook the tender support already being offered, and what you overlook, you cannot fully receive. So let your awareness become more delicate, not tense, not searching desperately for signs, just awake in a softer way. Let yourself notice the small movements of good around you. Perhaps there was a moment today when you felt a little less alone. Perhaps something that could have been difficult became a little easier. Perhaps you found one sentence, one memory, one breath, one sound that brought comfort. Perhaps the blessing was simply that you kept going with a heart that was tired. That counts. Your strength counts. Your tenderness counts. Your willingness counts. Your ability to keep choosing love, even imperfectly, counts. Sometimes we imagine blessings only as things added to our lives, but some blessings are things removed. A pressure that lifts, a habit that loses power, a conversation that no longer controls you, a fear that does not grip quite as tightly, a path you thought you wanted, gently fading because something inside you has grown wiser. A blessing may come as clarity. A blessing may come as release. A blessing may come as a closed door that you do not yet understand, but one day may see with more compassion. This does not mean every painful thing is automatically good. It does not mean every disappointment must be decorated with meaning before you are allowed to grieve. Your feelings are valid. Your sadness deserves care. Your confusion deserves patience. But it does mean that even inside uncertain seasons, good can still find small ways to reach you. And when you begin to receive small blessings, your heart becomes less starved for proof. It no longer says, "Nothing is happening," simply because everything has not happened yet. It learns to say, "Something gentle is here. Something supportive is here. Something is helping me take the next breath." That is a powerful change. It turns the day from an empty waiting room into a place where grace can be noticed. Let yourself practice this today, not as homework, not as a duty, as a softer way of seeing. When you drink water, receive it. When light touches the room, receive it. When silence gives you a moment to breathe, receive it. When someone is kind, let the kindness land. When your own heart becomes even a little less harsh, honor that as a blessing. You might say quietly, "I welcome the quiet good that is already here." Let that be your practice for this part of the journey. The quiet good. Not only the dramatic good, not only the good that arrives in the exact form you requested, not only the good that others can see from the outside, the quiet good that meets you in the hidden places, the quiet good that steadies your heart when nothing looks different yet, the quiet good that reminds you that you are still being shaped by tenderness, not only by struggle. There is deep peace in noticing. When you notice a blessing, you are not forcing life to give you more. You are becoming present enough to receive what already exists. Gratitude begins there. Not in pretending everything is easy, but in honoring what is still supportive, still beautiful, still kind, even in the middle of life's unfinished places. And as you become more present with small blessings, a new safety begins to form inside you. You start to feel that good does not always have to overwhelm you. It can come softly. It can come slowly. It can come in a form your nervous system can hold. This is important because for some hearts, receiving too much too quickly can feel frightening. If you have lived through loss, disappointment, or uncertainty, you may find yourself bracing when something good appears. You may wonder how long it will last. You may begin preparing yourself for it to disappear before you have even allowed yourself to enjoy it. This is not because you are ungrateful. It is because some part of you has learned to protect joy by not trusting it. But joy does not become safer when you reject it. Peace does not become safer when you rush past it. A blessing does not become safer when you hold it at a distance. What helps is learning to stay present with good one moment at a time, not demanding that it last forever, not asking it to prove that life will never hurt again, just allowing it to be here while it is here. If a good moment comes, let it be good. If someone speaks kindly, let the kindness exist. If an opportunity appears, you do not have to decide everything at once. You can breathe. You can listen. You can respond with wisdom. If peace visits you for a minute, do not chase it into the next hour. Simply receive the minute. The fear of losing good can keep the heart from receiving good at all. It says, do not relax. Do not enjoy this. Do not trust this. Do not let it matter, because it may go away. But the heart can learn another way. It can learn to say, this is here now, and I allow myself to receive it now. That sentence is gentle because it does not argue with the future. It does not promise permanence. It does not demand certainty. It simply returns you to the present, where receiving is actually possible. You cannot receive tomorrow's blessing today. You cannot receive yesterday's blessing again in the same way. But you can receive the good that is here in this moment, even if it is small, especially if it is small. Small good teaches the heart how to trust again. Perhaps the blessing before you is not meant to answer every question. Perhaps it is only meant to soften the next few minutes. Let that be enough. Let life be allowed to support you in small portions. You do not refuse a sip of water because it is not the whole ocean. You receive the sip. You let it refresh you. You let it help you continue. In the same way, receive the blessing that is available now. A single breath, a calm thought, a little hope, a gentle word, a moment of beauty, a chance to pause. A softer choice. Let it be enough for now. And if fear whispers that it will not last, speak back with tenderness. Maybe it will stay. Maybe it will change. But I am here with it now. This is a mature kind of receiving. It does not cling. It does not demand. It does not ruin the gift by trying to control its entire future. It simply opens its hands and says, thank you for this moment. There is freedom there. Because when you stop needing every blessing to become permanent before you enjoy it, life becomes richer. You begin to taste the sweetness of passing things. You begin to recognize that a moment can be sacred even if it changes. You begin to understand that gratitude does not need certainty to be sincere. Let this settle into you. You are allowed to enjoy good without first proving that it will never leave. You are allowed to smile before every problem is solved. You are allowed to rest in a peaceful moment without asking fear for permission. You are allowed to receive today's blessing today. Say softly, if it feels right, I allow myself to enjoy the good that is here now. Let the words be simple. I allow myself to enjoy the good that is here now. Not because everything is perfect. Not because you have no wounds. Not because the future is completely known. But because this moment is offering something, and you are learning not to turn away. Receiving asks for presence. Fear pulls you into what might happen later. Regret pulls you into what already happened. But receiving happens in the open space of now, right here, with this breath, with this feeling, with this small offering from life. If a blessing is here, meet it here. Do not drag it into the past to compare it with what hurt you. Do not send it into the future to test whether it will last. Let it sit with you in the present. Let it warm your hands. Let it touch your heart. Let it be simple. The more you practice receiving without fear, the more your inner world begins to change. You may not become fearless, and you do not need to, but you may become less ruled by fear. You may begin to notice when it arrives, breathe with it, and choose not to let it close every door. Fear may say, "Do not trust this." Wisdom may answer, "I will move gently." Fear may say, "It will be taken away." Wisdom may answer, "I can receive what is here without owning tomorrow." Fear may say, "You are not ready." Wisdom may answer, "I can receive slowly." Slowly is sacred. Slowly is often how the heart heals. Think of a cup that has been empty for a long time. If water is poured too quickly, it spills. But if it is filled slowly, carefully, steadily, the cup begins to hold again. Your heart may be like that. It may need blessings to arrive in ways that do not overwhelm it. It may need peace in small measures, trust in small measures, joy in small measures, support in small measures. There is nothing wrong with that. A slow receiving is still receiving. A cautious opening is still opening. A tender yes is still a yes. Let your heart be a cup, not a perfect cup, not a flawless one. Human cup. Perhaps it has known cracks. Perhaps it has been set aside for too long. Perhaps it has forgotten that it was made to be filled. But even a tender heart can receive. Even a tired heart can be nourished. Even a heart that has spilled before can learn how to hold again. Imagine now that your heart is turning upward, not begging, not chasing, not demanding, simply becoming available. Like a cup set beneath gentle rain, drop by drop, the rain falls, a drop of peace, a drop of trust, a drop of forgiveness, a drop of kindness, a drop of rest, a drop of courage. No single drop has to do everything. No single moment has to heal the whole story. But each drop matters. Each one teaches the heart that nourishment is possible. Let the rain be slow. Let it be kind. Let it meet you where you are. You may whisper within yourself, "I receive at the pace that feels peaceful to my heart." This is a beautiful permission. You do not need to receive in a way that frightens you. You do not need to open faster than your body can allow. You do not need to pretend that old pain is gone. You can receive while honoring your own tenderness. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is not force the heart open, but create the conditions where it opens naturally. Conditions like patience, kind self-talk, gentle boundaries, rest, honest tears, gratitude for small things, time away from noise, people who feel safe, spiritual words that soothe rather than pressure. These are the conditions that help the cup turn upward again. And as the cup begins to fill, you may notice that receiving is not only about accepting what comes from outside. It is also about allowing what already lives within you to rise. There are blessings inside you that have been waiting for permission. Creativity, peace, wisdom, tenderness, hope, a deeper trust in your own inner voice. Sometimes we think blessings must come from far away, as if life must send something new from the outside. But many blessings are already planted within us. They have been waiting for enough quiet, enough safety, enough love to unfold. You may already have strength you have not recognized. You may already have guidance you have not listened to. You may already have courage that has been hidden beneath exhaustion. You may already have love that has been buried under self-protection. Receiving blessings also means receiving the truth of who you are, not the fearful story, not the harsh story, not the story written by rejection, pressure, or disappointment. The deeper truth. You are a soul capable of renewal. You are a heart capable of opening again. You are a person allowed to be supported by visible and invisible forms of good. You do not need to understand all of this at once. Let the words come like rain. Let them touch the dry places without demanding anything from them. A dry field does not become green the first moment rain begins. But something changes immediately. The surface softens. The scent of earth rises. Life begins to remember itself. That may be what is happening in you. Not a sudden perfection, a softening, a remembering, a beginning. Let that be enough. And as you become more open to the quiet blessings around you and the hidden blessings within you, you may notice another truth rising gently. The deeper your self-love becomes, the easier it is to receive. Because when you are at war with yourself, even kindness can feel uncomfortable. Praise can feel suspicious. Rest can feel undeserved. Help can feel like debt. Love can feel too close. Blessings can feel like they belong to someone better. But when you begin to treat yourself with compassion, receiving feels less foreign. Self-love creates the inner home where blessings can enter and stay for a while. This does not mean you must adore every part of yourself every moment. That would be another pressure. Self-love can begin much more simply. It can begin as not attacking yourself when you are tired. It can begin as speaking to yourself with a little more patience. It can begin as feeding your body with care. It can begin as listening when your heart says, "This hurts." It can begin as forgiving yourself for not knowing then what you know now. It can begin as allowing your needs to matter. Self-love is not a performance. It is a practice of returning to yourself without cruelty. And every time you return without cruelty, you make receiving safer. Think of your inner world as a home. If the home is full of criticism, shame, and constant pressure, then even a beautiful gift left at the door may feel out of place. But if the home becomes warmer, cleaner, kinder, more welcoming, then good can enter more naturally. Self-love prepares the room. It opens the curtains. It clears a chair. It lights a small lamp. It says, "Good may enter here. Peace may rest here. Kindness is welcome here." You are that home. Your heart is that room. And you can make it gentler, one thought at a time. Speak inwardly now, not with force, but with warmth. I am learning to be kind to myself. That may be more believable than I love every part of myself perfectly. Let it be real. I am learning to be kind to myself. I am learning to receive without shame. I am learning to let love come closer. These are honest affirmations. They leave room for growth. They honor the journey. They do not ask you to deny where you are. There is great power in honest gentleness. When you speak to yourself this way, something in the body relaxes. It no longer has to defend itself from your own voice. It no longer has to brace for inner attack. It begins to feel that you are becoming a safer companion to yourself. And when you become safer to yourself, blessings do not feel as threatening. You no longer need every outer person to prove your worth before you can feel it. You no longer need every opportunity to rescue you. You no longer need every blessing to repair a lifetime of self-rejection. You begin to receive from a place of growing wholeness instead of desperation. This is a softer abundance, an abundance that begins inside. Not merely having more, but being more available to what nourishes your spirit. A person can be surrounded by good and still feel empty if they do not know how to receive. Another person can receive a simple moment with deep gratitude and feel rich in the soul. This is why self-love matters. It teaches the heart to stop rejecting nourishment. It teaches the mind to stop arguing with kindness. It teaches the body to recognize calm as something it is allowed to feel. Place your attention gently on your heart for a moment. You do not have to touch it unless you want to. Just become aware of that space in your chest, the place that has held longing, the place that has held disappointment, the place that has kept loving, even after it learned to protect itself. Speak to that place as if it were someone precious. not as a project, not as a problem, as someone worthy of tenderness. You might say, I am here with you. You do not have to earn my love today. Let that be enough. So much of receiving begins when the heart stops feeling abandoned by you. You may have waited for the world to show you that you are lovable. And yes, love from others is beautiful. Support from others matters. Kindness from others can help heal tender places. But there is also a love that must come through your own inner voice. The way you speak to yourself when no one hears, the way you hold yourself when you make a mistake, the way you treat your needs when they inconvenience your plans, the way you comfort the parts of you that still feel afraid. This inner love is not a replacement for connection. It is a foundation that helps you receive connection without losing yourself. When you love yourself more gently, you can receive from others without clinging. You can accept help without feeling small. You can welcome blessings without making them responsible for your entire worth. That is freedom, and it begins with simple, repeated tenderness, not perfection. Tenderness. You can say, I am allowed to be cared for. Let that sentence enter carefully. I am allowed to be cared for. Maybe this care comes from your own choices. Maybe it comes through kind people. Maybe it comes through rest, prayer, quiet, nature, guidance, opportunity, or a peaceful shift in perspective. Care has many forms. Do not limit how care may arrive, but also do not wait passively for someone else to give you permission to care for yourself. Begin now. Care for your thoughts. Care for your body. Care for your heart. Care for your energy. Care for the words you repeat inside. Care for the dreams you still carry. Care for the tired places that have done their best. This care opens the channel of receiving. Because when you care for yourself, you are saying to life, I am no longer refusing my own good. There may be moments when you forget. Of course there will be. You may fall back into old criticism. You may deflect a compliment. You may feel guilty for resting. You may mistrust a blessing. When that happens, do not turn the practice into another reason to be harsh. Simply notice, return, begin again. The heart learns through returning. Every return is a blessing. Every time you come back to kindness, you strengthen the path. And one day, the kinder path becomes easier to find. This is how receiving becomes natural, not by forcing yourself to feel open all the time, but by becoming less willing to abandon yourself when fear appears. There is a deeper tenderness waiting there. The tenderness of saying, even now I can be kind. Even when I doubt, I can be kind. Even when I wait, I can be kind. Even when I am not sure what life is doing, I can be kind. Even when I am learning to receive, I can be kind. Kindness is one of the first blessings you can give yourself, and one of the first blessings you can allow yourself to receive. Let it begin here. Let it begin as a softer tone in your own mind. Let it begin as a little more patience with your pace. Let it begin as permission to be human. You are not here to become a perfect receiver. You are here to become a more open, more honest, more loving participant in your own life. And as you practice this, another old fear may rise. The fear that if you receive too much, something will go wrong. The fear that blessings come with a hidden cost. The fear that if you relax, life will catch you unprepared. This fear often grows from times when peace did not last. It may come from memories when good moments were interrupted, when trust was broken, or when joy was followed by loss. The heart remembers patterns. It tries to prepare you by staying tense. So speak to it gently. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I do not need to rehearse loss in order to be safe. This is a profound shift. You do not need to rehearse loss in order to be safe. You do not need to imagine every disappointment before it happens. You do not need to reduce your joy to protect yourself from grief. You can be present. You can be wise. You can receive today without forcing tomorrow to make promises it cannot make. This is not denial. This is presence. Life changes, feelings change, seasons change. But your ability to meet this moment with openness can grow. Your ability to receive without clinging can grow. Your ability to enjoy without fear controlling the whole experience can grow. Let blessings be held lightly, like a song playing in the next room. You do not grab the music. You listen. You let it move through you. You let it make the air softer while it is here. Some blessings are meant to stay. Some are meant to pass through and leave you changed. Some are meant to teach you that good can come in more than one form. Let them be what they are. Receive them with open hands, not clenched fists. This is the art of allowing miracles into your life today. Not forcing the extraordinary, not demanding proof, not bargaining with the unseen, but becoming present enough to recognize the tender, supportive, meaningful shifts that life places before you. A miracle may be a change in your heart. A miracle may be the courage not to repeat an old pattern. A miracle may be the peace to wait without hating yourself. A miracle may be the willingness to receive love after years of pushing it away. A miracle, Mom, I be a simple moment when you believe, even for one breath, that good can come to you too. Let miracles be gentle. Let them be believable. Let them be woven into ordinary life. This keeps your spirit grounded and open. You do not need to chase the sky. You can receive the light that reaches your window. You do not need to force a sign. You can listen to the wisdom already stirring in your chest. You do not need to make life prove itself every hour. You can take one step with trust, and if trust feels far away, begin with willingness again. I am willing to let today bring me gentle good. That is enough. Today, not the whole future, not every unanswered question, just today. Today, I am willing to let gentle good reach me. Today, I am willing to notice support. Today, I am willing to receive one blessing without pushing it away. This kind of practice makes spirituality livable. It brings it down from a distant idea into the way you breathe, speak, rest, choose, and receive. Because receiving blessings is not only about waiting for something to arrive, it is also about becoming the kind of inner space where peace is not rejected, love is not feared, and goodness is not immediately questioned. You are becoming that space, slowly, imperfectly, beautifully. And as you become more open within yourself, you may begin to feel differently about timing. Because one of the reasons receiving becomes painful is that the mind wants everything to arrive now in a clear form in the way it has imagined. The mind wants certainty because waiting feels vulnerable. If you have been waiting for a blessing, an answer, a change, a new direction, or a sense of relief, you may feel tired of being told to trust. You may feel that patience has asked too much from you. You may wonder if life has forgotten the prayers you have spoken quietly. Let that feeling be honored. Waiting can be difficult. Longing can ache. Hope can feel heavy when it has been carried for a long time. So we will not speak of timing in a way that dismisses your pain. We will not say, just wait, as if your heart has not already been waiting. We will not say every delay is easy or automatically clear. We will speak more gently than that. Sometimes timing is a mystery. Sometimes things unfold slowly because many parts of life are moving at once. Your own readiness, other people's choices, practical circumstances, emotional healing, lessons you did not ask for but may still grow through, openings that are not visible yet. And sometimes, while you are waiting for the outer blessing, an inner blessing begins. You become more honest. You become more discerning. You become less willing to abandon yourself. You learn what you truly value. You stop chasing what only drains you. You become able to hold what you once only wanted. This does not make waiting painless, but it can make waiting meaningful. There is a difference between waiting in panic and waiting in trust. Panic says nothing is happening. Trust says, I may not see everything, but I can still care for my heart while life unfolds. Panic says, I am being left behind. Trust says, my path does not have to look like anyone else's. Panic says, if it is not here now, it will never come. Trust says, I can remain open without forcing the timing. Let trust be quiet. It does not need to be a grand declaration. It can be as simple as softening your jaw. taking the next breath, doing the next loving thing, keeping your heart open to good, even when you do not know when or how the next answer will arrive. You might say, I allow life to unfold at a pace my soul can grow with. This is not passive. It is peaceful. It does not mean you stop participating in your life. It means you participate without panic. You take steps. You make choices. You listen inwardly. You respond to opportunities. You care for your thoughts. You honor your needs. But you stop whipping your heart with the belief that everything must happen immediately, or you have failed. You have not failed because something is taking time. You have not failed because you are still waiting. You have not failed because the blessing is not visible yet. Sometimes the unseen season is not empty. It is forming roots. The mind loves flowers because they are visible. But roots are what allow the flower to live. Roots grow in darkness, quietly, slowly, without applause, without proof for the surface world. Perhaps something in you is growing roots, a steadier sense of worth, a deeper patience, a clearer inner voice, a softer relationship with yourself, an ability to receive without fear. These are not small things. They are foundations. If a blessing comes before the foundation is ready, it may feel overwhelming. But when the inner foundation becomes stronger, you can hold more peace, more love, more responsibility, more joy, more abundance, without losing yourself inside it. So do not despise the root season. Do not call your life empty just because the flower has not opened yet. There may be movement beneath the surface. There may be preparation in the quiet. There may be wisdom forming where you cannot yet see it. Again, this is not a promise that every wish will arrive exactly as imagined. It is an invitation to stop treating the waiting season as proof that you are forgotten. You are still allowed to receive while you wait. Receive patience. Receive rest. Receive insight. Receive small joys. Receive guidance for the next step. Receive the love that is available now instead of postponing all peace until one future event. This is where many people lose their peace. They place all their permission to feel blessed in the hands of one outcome. When it arrives, then they will rest. When it changes, then they will breathe. When someone chooses them, then they will feel worthy. When the money comes, then they will feel safe. When the answer is clear, then they will trust. But your soul does not need to wait that long to receive nourishment. Yes, desire what you desire. Yes, honor your dreams. Yes, stay open to beautiful possibilities. But do not deny yourself every present blessing while waiting for one future blessing. Let today have goodness too. Let today have meaning too. Let today hold you in some small way. You can want more and still receive now. You can hope for change and still find peace now. You can be in process and still be blessed now. Say gently, I receive the good of this day while trusting what is still unfolding. Let that be a bridge between gratitude and hope. The good of this day, what is still unfolding. Both can exist. You do not have to choose between appreciating now and believing in more. A peaceful heart can do both. It can say thank you for this breath and also yes to the growth that is coming. It can honor what is here and remain open to what is next. This is the calm path of receiving. It does not rush life. It does not reject today. It walks with open hands. And while you walk, you may notice that blessings often come through ordinary channels, through people, through ideas, through timing, through courage, through rest, through a decision that feels quietly right, through an unexpected conversation, through your own willingness to stop repeating what hurts you. So as you wait, stay awake to ordinary grace. The answer may not arrive with thunder. It may arrive as a sentence someone says at the right moment. It may arrive as a new thought while washing a cup. It may arrive as a feeling in your body that says, this way feels lighter. It may arrive as the strength to release what you have been forcing. It may arrive as a gentle opportunity that needs your participation. Receiving is not only sitting still. Sometimes receiving means saying yes when life offers the next step. Sometimes it means saying no when something is no longer aligned. Sometimes it means making room in your schedule, your mind, your home, or your heart. Ask yourself softly, is there any place where I have been asking for blessings while leaving no room to receive them? No judgment, just curiosity. Maybe you have been asking for peace while filling every silence with noise. Maybe you have been asking for support while never letting anyone know you need help. Maybe you have been asking for rest while treating your body like an inconvenience. Maybe you have been asking for love while speaking to yourself in ways that make love feel unwelcome. Maybe you have been asking for abundance while believing you must feel guilty for wanting more ease. Seeing this is not a reason for shame. It is an opening. Once you see where there is no room, you can create a little room in your day, a little room in your heart, a little room in your beliefs, a little room in your expectations. Blessings do not need endless space to begin. They only need an honest opening. Clear one corner. Release one old sentence. Accept one act of kindness. Take one peaceful step. This is how you cooperate with life. Not by forcing every outcome, but by preparing your inner and outer world to receive what supports your growth. And if you do not know what to do, begin with the simplest preparation. Become quiet for one breath. Ask inwardly, what good am I ready to receive today? Then listen. Do not strain for an answer. Let the question settle. It may not answer immediately. It may rise later as a feeling, a memory, an idea, a desire for rest, a need to forgive yourself, a longing to call someone, a sense that it is time to stop gripping something. Trust gentle guidance. It often speaks softly because it is not trying to frighten you. And as you learn to listen, you begin to receive not only blessings, but direction. Not a map of the whole future, just a lamp for the next step. That is enough. A lamp for the next step is a blessing. You do not need the whole road lit at once. In fact, sometimes seeing too far ahead would overwhelm the heart. Life often gives light in portions, enough to move, enough to breathe, enough to choose, enough to continue. Receive the light you have. Walk with it. More can appear as you go. This is trust in motion. This is receiving with maturity. This is allowing miracles into your life today in the safest, simplest, most human way. By noticing the light you already have, making room for the good that is trying to enter, and taking the next gentle step without demanding that the entire mystery explain itself first. Let your heart rest in that. You do not have to understand the whole mystery to receive today's blessing. You do not have to see the whole path to take one kind step. You do not have to feel completely ready to open a little more. And as this openness grows, we begin to touch another tender place. The guilt many people carry around, abundance, goodness, and receiving more than just enough to survive. This is where the heart may need even deeper permission, because blessings are not only for emergencies. Goodness is not only allowed when life is falling apart. You are allowed to welcome a fuller, softer, more supported life without apology. You are allowed to welcome more than survival. You are allowed to welcome more than just getting through the day. You are allowed to welcome peace that feels spacious, love that feels steady, support that feels kind, and abundance that helps your life feel less tight around the edges. For some hearts, this is difficult to believe. Not because they do not want good, but because wanting good has been tangled with guilt. You may have learned that asking for more makes you ungrateful. You may have learned that desiring ease means you are not humble. You may have learned that if others are struggling, you must not allow yourself to receive too much joy. But guilt is not the same as goodness. Shrinking does not heal the world. Refusing every blessing does not make you more loving. When you allow yourself to receive in healthy, grateful, balanced ways, you become less bitter, less exhausted, less afraid. You have more space to give from love instead of depletion. You have more patience, more warmth, more presence, more honesty. A full heart does not need to prove its worth by becoming empty. Abundance does not need to mean excess. It does not need to mean greed. It does not need to mean chasing more and more without peace. Abundance can be simple, enough time to breathe, enough support to rest, enough love to soften, enough clarity to choose wisely, enough beauty to remember that life is not only work, enough kindness within yourself to stop living as your own enemy, enough trust to open your hands again. This is the kind of abundance that blesses the soul. So if the word abundance feels too large, too heavy, or too connected to pressure, let it become softer. Let abundance mean room. Room in your mind, room in your body, room in your day, room in your heart, room for joy to enter without being pushed away. You are allowed to have room. You are allowed to have support. You are allowed to have moments that do not require you to struggle. The old voice may say, "Be careful. Do not ask for too much." But the wiser voice within you may answer, "I am not asking from greed. I am opening to what supports my highest peace." There is a difference. One grasps, the other receives. One demands, the other allows. One comes from fear, the other comes from trust. Let yourself desire good from trust. Let yourself welcome blessings that help you become kinder, calmer, wiser, and more open. Let yourself receive without turning your desire into shame. You might say softly, "I allow good to support my life in balanced and loving ways." Balanced and loving. That is the key. Not frantic, not forced, not guaranteed, not exaggerated. Balanced and loving. Let the good that comes to you support your peace, not your ego. Let it support your well-being, not your comparison. Let it help you live with more generosity, more gratitude, and more freedom inside your own heart. You do not need to apologize for wanting life to feel softer. You do not need to apologize for wanting relief. You do not need to apologize for wanting your heart to feel held. You do not need to apologize for wanting beauty after years of heaviness. The soul does not become more holy by rejecting every comfort. Sometimes receiving comfort is exactly what allows the soul to remember its light. And perhaps one of the most beautiful forms of comfort is help. Real help. Human help. The kind that arrives through another person's listening ear. Gentle words, steady presence, practical support, or simple kindness. For many people, receiving help is harder than giving it. You may know how to show up for others, but when someone reaches toward you, something in you steps back. You may worry that you are too much. You may worry that needing help makes you weak. You may worry that if someone helps you, you will owe more than you can give. So you carry things alone. You say you are fine when you are not. You make your needs small. You turn away from the very support that could soften the weight. But needing support does not make you weak. It makes you human. Even the strongest branches bend toward the light. Even the earth receives rain. Even the moon does not shine by itself. It reflects what it receives. Why should your heart be required to live without support? Let help become less frightening. Let kindness become less suspicious. Let care become something you can welcome without immediately wondering how to repay it. Sometimes the most graceful response is simply, "Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for helping. Thank you for reminding me I do not have to carry this alone." A clean thank you can be a prayer. It receives without shrinking. It honors the giver without denying the gift. It lets love move. Practice letting love move. If someone offers support that feels kind and appropriate, pause before you refuse it. Breathe. Ask yourself, am I saying no because this is not right for me? Or am I saying no because I'm afraid to receive? There is wisdom in knowing the difference. You do not need to accept what feels wrong. You do not need to accept help that comes with pressure, control, or disrespect. True receiving includes discernment. Your heart is allowed to have boundaries. Your spirit is allowed to know the difference between nourishment and obligation. But when help is clean, when kindness is sincere, when support is peaceful, allow yourself to consider letting it in. Let someone hold the door. Let someone speak a kind word. Let someone share a little of the weight. Let someone care without rushing to prove that you are not needy. There is no shame in being cared for. There is grace in allowing others to practice love too. Sometimes, when you refuse every kindness, you are not only protecting yourself, you are also closing a small doorway through which love wanted to travel. Let love travel. Let it move through hands, voices, messages, timing, gestures, ideas, and unexpected moments of support. Blessings often wear ordinary clothing. They may not look spiritual at first. They may look like a friend who checks on you, a stranger who offers patience, a chance to rest, a useful idea, a simple resource, a conversation that helps you see differently, a moment where you finally tell the truth about what you need. Do not dismiss the human ways life supports you. The sacred often moves through the simple. The blessing may come through another person, but it still meets something deep within you. And as you receive help, remember to receive your own help too, your own wisdom, your own tenderness, your own decision to stop making life harder than it has to be. You can help yourself by resting before you break. You can help yourself by speaking gently in your own mind. You can help yourself by making one small choice that honors your peace. You can help yourself by allowing a new belief to replace an old punishment. You can help yourself by saying, "I matter too." Let those words be quiet but firm. I matter too. Not more than others, not less than others, too. This is the word many tired hearts need. Too. My needs matter too. My rest matters too. My peace matters too. My healing matters too. My joy matters too. My receiving matters too. Let this not be selfishness. Let this be balance returning. A life of only giving becomes strained. A life of only taking becomes hollow. But a life where giving and receiving move together becomes more like breathing, inhale, exhale, receive, offer, rest, serve, listen, speak, be held, hold others. This is the rhythm you are returning to, and you can begin with one very simple practice today. Not a complicated ritual, not something that requires perfection, just a moment of conscious receiving. At some point today, pause. Let your hands relax. Let your shoulders lower. Let your breath come home to your body. Then notice one blessing already present. It may be very small. A breath, a roof, a sound, a memory, a choice, a person, a lesson, a little strength, a little stillness. Name it quietly. Do not rush. Let yourself feel that this small good is allowed to touch you. Then open your hands even slightly and say within yourself, today, I welcome blessings in simple and peaceful forms. Simple and peaceful forms. This is important. Blessings do not have to overwhelm you to be real. They do not have to arrive with spectacle. They do not have to match someone else's story. They can be suited to your life, your season, your nervous system, your next step. After you say the affirmation, stay still for a few breaths. Let your body hear you. Let the words move beyond the mind. Notice if there is resistance. Notice if there is softness. Notice if you feel nothing at all. All of it is allowed. Receiving is not about performing the right feeling. It is about creating a moment where your heart is not being pushed. This simple practice can become a doorway in the middle of an ordinary day. Before a meal, receive. Before sleep, receive. When stepping outside, receive. When someone is kind, receive. When silence comes, receive. When you feel a little courage, receive. You are training your heart, not by force, but by repetition, wrapped in kindness. One day, the body may stop bracing so quickly. One day, the mind may stop asking, what if this disappears? One day, your first response to kindness may be gratitude instead of fear. Let this happen gradually. Let it unfold like warmth spreading through a room after a small fire has been lit. There is no need to rush, and there will be times when nothing seems to be happening. There will be days when you practice openness and still feel closed. Days when you affirm receiving and still feel doubtful. Days when blessings seem quiet, delayed, or hidden. Days when your heart asks, "Am I doing this wrong?" No, you are not doing it wrong because you have human days. Spiritual practice does not remove every wave from the sea. It teaches you to stop hating yourself for being moved by them. There will be moments when you feel hopeful and moments when hope feels far away. Moments when you feel open and moments when the old guard returns to the doorway. Moments when receiving feels natural and moments when it feels impossible. Let all of this be part of the journey. You do not need to turn doubt into another enemy. Doubt can sit at the table too, as long as it does not lead the whole conversation. When doubt says, "Nothing is changing," you can answer, "I am still allowed to be gentle with myself." When doubt says, "This is not working," you can answer, "I am practicing a kinder way to live." When doubt says, "Good will not come," you can answer, "I do not know everything, and I remain open to peace." This is steady faith, not loud faith, not perfect faith, steady faith. The kind that stays soft even when the answer is not yet clear. Sometimes life is quiet because nothing is happening in the way your eyes can see. And sometimes life is quiet because something is settling, forming, or clearing within you. You may not know which is true. You do not need to know in order to care for your heart. In quiet seasons, receive quiet blessings, receive patience, receive breath, receive rest, receive the lesson of not rushing your soul. Receive the chance to know yourself more deeply. Receive the strength of taking the next simple step. Do not postpone all nourishment until the big answer arrives. If you are walking through a hallway, receive the lamp on the wall. It may not be the open field yet, but it helps you see where to place your foot. And that is enough for this moment. A hallway is not a punishment. A pause is not always abandonment. A quiet season is not proof that you are forgotten. Sometimes it is simply a space between what was and what is becoming. Let yourself be held there too. You do not need to love every waiting season. You do not need to pretend it is easy. Just do not use it as evidence against your worth. Waiting does not make you unworthy. Unanswered questions do not make you unloved. Slow progress does not mean no progress. A tender heart is still a worthy heart. Say gently, even in quiet seasons, I remain open to peace and guidance. Peace and guidance, not forced outcomes, not instant answers. Peace and guidance. These are blessings you can receive even when the future is still unfolding. Perhaps peace comes first, so you can recognize the next step more clearly. Perhaps guidance comes quietly, so you can practice listening. Perhaps the blessing is not only what eventually arrives, but who you become while learning to receive without fear. You are becoming someone who can hold good more gently, someone who can receive without immediately shrinking, someone who can be grateful without being afraid, someone who can want more without despising what is here, someone who can wait without abandoning themselves, someone who can give without becoming empty, someone who can open without losing wisdom. This is a beautiful becoming. Do not rush it. Do not measure it every day. Do not demand that the flower prove its growth each morning. Just keep tending the soil. And the soil of receiving is made of self-worth, patience, gratitude, honesty, rest, and trust. Tend these. Speak with kindness. Notice blessings. Let help in when it is safe. Release guilt when it appears. Rest before resentment grows. Open slowly, return often. And little by little, your inner world becomes a place where blessings do not feel foreign anymore. It becomes a place where peace is recognized, where love is welcome, where support can enter, where joy does not need to apologize, where abundance is not a source of shame, where good is allowed to stay for as long as it is meant to stay. This is what it means to become a safe place for blessings. Not perfect, safe, not always fearless, available, not always certain, open. Your heart can become a quiet home for good. Imagine that within you there is a small room that once held old fears stacked high, boxes of disappointment, shelves of self-doubt, corners filled with sentences you never deserved to carry. For a long time, that room may have felt too crowded for anything new. But now, gently, you begin to clear space. You remove one old belief. I must struggle to be worthy. You let it go. You remove another. Good things are for other people. You let it go. You remove another. If I receive, I am selfish. You let it go. You do not clear the whole room in one day. You simply make enough space for a chair, a window, a little light. Enough space for peace to sit down. Enough space for gratitude to breathe. Enough space for a blessing to enter without feeling like an intruder. This is inner preparation. This is sacred work, quiet work. No one may applaud it, but your soul feels it. Each time you release an old belief, you are making room. Each time you choose a kinder thought, you are making room. Each time you receive without apology, you are making room. Each time you trust a small blessing, you are making room. And slowly, the room changes. It becomes less like a storage place for fear and more like a sanctuary. A place inside you where goodness feels welcome. A place where you can say, I am grateful for what is here, and I am open to what is coming in peaceful ways. This is not chasing. This is not begging. This is not forcing life to move on command. This is alignment with gentleness. It is a quiet readiness. It is the heart saying, I no longer want to block love simply because I am afraid. And perhaps that is one of the deepest miracles of all, the moment you stop fighting the good that wants to reach you. Not because you are certain of everything, not because you have solved the whole past, not because every wound has disappeared, but because something inside you is tired of living closed. Something inside you is ready to be kinder to yourself. Something inside you is ready to let blessings be possible. You may not know what form they will take. That is all right. Leave room for life to be creative. Leave room for unexpected support. Leave room for small joys. Leave room for inner peace. Leave room for the possibility that the path may still hold goodness you have not imagined yet. You do not need to name every blessing before it arrives. You do not need to plan every doorway. You do not need to understand every timing. You can simply become receptive. Receptive to what is true. Receptive to what is kind. Receptive to what brings peace, receptive to what strengthens love in you, receptive to guidance that does not come with panic, receptive to support that honors your dignity, receptive to abundance that feels balanced and wise, receptive to rest, receptive to hope, receptive to the small sacred good of today. Let yourself feel that word, receptive. It does not mean passive. It does not mean powerless. It means open enough to respond, open enough to notice, open enough to say yes when yes is peaceful and no when no is loving. A receptive heart is alive. It listens. It discerns. It receives. It gives. It trusts the rhythm. And today, this is the rhythm you are invited back into. Not a life of chasing, not a life of proving, not a life of closed doors inside your own chest. A life where you can stand gently in the present and say, I am willing to receive the blessings that support my peace, my growth, and my highest good. Let that be your prayer. Not a demand, a prayer. Not a command shouted at life. A soft agreement with your soul. You are agreeing to stop making yourself unavailable to goodness. You are agreeing to stop confusing struggle with worth. You are agreeing to stop rejecting every kindness because fear has a loud voice. You are agreeing to let gratitude become stronger than suspicion, little by little. You are agreeing to let your life be touched by grace in simple ways. And you can begin now with the breath you are already taking. Receive this breath. You did not have to earn it. You did not have to schedule it. You did not have to become perfect before it came. It came because life is moving through you. Let the breath teach you. Inhale and receive. Exhale and release. Inhale and allow. Exhale and soften. Inhale and remember. exhale, and rest. Your breath has always known the rhythm of giving and receiving. You do not exhale forever. You do not inhale forever. There is a natural exchange, a sacred balance. Your body knows this wisdom. Let your spirit remember it too. You can give and receive. You can work and rest. You can hope and wait. You can dream and be grateful. You can open and stay wise. You can be human and still be worthy. As this part of the journey comes to a close, let there be no pressure to become suddenly transformed. Let there be no demand to feel perfectly open. The most loving thing you can take from these words is not a forced belief, but a gentler relationship with your own heart. If you are only a little softer, that is enough. If you are only a little more willing, that is enough. If you can receive only one small blessing today, that is enough. Enough is a holy word. It quiets the part of you that always thinks you should be further along. It tells the striving mind that this moment has value. It reminds the wounded heart that healing does not need to be rushed to be real. You are enough for this moment. Your willingness is enough for this moment. Your one open breath is enough for this moment. Let your heart hear that. You are not behind in learning to receive. You are not failing because you still feel fear. You are not excluded from blessings because you have doubts. You are not too late to open. You can begin again every day. Every morning can be a small invitation. Every evening can be a soft release. Every breath can be a doorway back to trust. And when blessings come, in whatever form is right and peaceful, practice letting them meet you. Do not shrink. Do not argue. Do not ask your past whether you are allowed. Let your present heart answer. Yes, I can receive this. A kind word. Yes, I can receive this. A moment of rest. Yes, I can receive this, a new possibility. Yes, I can receive this, a feeling of peace. Yes, I can receive this, a chance to be gentle with myself. Yes, I can receive this. Let those small yeses reshape you. Let them become the path. Not one dramatic yes that solves everything, but many quiet yeses that teach your heart to trust good again. And when no is needed, let no also be sacred. Because receiving blessings also means releasing what is not aligned. You do not need to keep what drains you in order to prove you are open. You do not need to accept confusion and call it grace. You can receive what nourishes and release what harms. You can bless the path behind you and still walk forward. This is a wise openness, a peaceful openness, a grounded openness, the kind that can carry you gently into the rest of your day or into the quiet of your night. Before we end, bring your attention once more to your heart. Imagine it not as something broken, but as something living, something that has opened and closed many times, something that has survived storms and still knows how to turn toward warmth. Your heart is not foolish for wanting blessings. Your heart is not weak for wanting love. Your heart is not selfish for wanting peace. Your heart is alive, and life can still meet it. Let gratitude rise, even if it is small. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for the strength that brought me here. Thank you for the small blessings I have noticed. Thank you for the good I am learning to receive. Thank you for the wisdom to open slowly. Thank you for the peace that can meet me today. Thank you for the gentle support that comes in seen and unseen ways. Let gratitude be soft, not forced. If all you can feel grateful for is one breath, that is enough. One true gratitude is more powerful than many empty words. Now let these final affirmations move through you like a calm stream. Do not rush them. Do not force them. Let each one touch only the place within you that is ready. I am open to receiving blessings in peaceful ways. I allow good to meet me gently. I receive kindness without shame. I welcome support that honors my well-being. I trust the quiet timing of my life. I am worthy of love, rest, peace, and gentle abundance. I give thanks for the blessings already here and for the good still unfolding. Breathe. Let the words settle. Nothing more is required. You do not have to chase what is meant to nourish your spirit. You do not have to prove your worth to the sky. You do not have to hold your heart closed because the past was painful. You may open slowly. You may receive wisely. You may trust gently. Today, allow blessings to be simple. Allow a blessing to be a softer thought. Allow a blessing to be a moment of calm. Allow a blessing to be the courage to ask for help. Allow a blessing to be the strength to rest. Allow a blessing to be the quiet knowing that you are still becoming, and you are worthy as you become. Let your hands remain open. Let your heart remain kind. Let your spirit remain receptive to the good that supports peace. And as you continue from this moment, carry only one thought if you need one. Good can come to me too. Let it be enough. Good can come to me too, not by force, not by fear, not by endless striving, but through openness, wisdom, gratitude, and trust. May you notice the small blessings. May you welcome the gentle ones. May you stop apologizing for being human. May you receive what brings peace to your heart. And may you remember, in the quiet places within you, that you are allowed to be blessed, allowed to be supported, allowed to rest, allowed to receive, and allowed to open again.